Welcome. Tonight, step into the shadows with me. I'll share 3 true stories, each stranger and darker than the last. Settle in, maybe dim the lights or turn them off if you dare. These stories are rooted in real events where the ordinary world lets something terrifying slip through. Let's begin with our first story. A place meant for rest, turned into a stage for the macabre. In 2012, at a small hotel in Illinois, a maintenance worker was called to check on room 213. Guests had been complaining of loud banging and screaming throughout the night. When he arrived, the door was locked from the inside, but no one responded. Security was called, and together they forced the door open. The room was completely empty. The bed was untouched, the windows were sealed shut, yet the mirror was fogged, as if someone had just stepped out of a hot shower. Hotel staff reviewed the security footage. No one had entered or left room 213 for over 24 hours. Later, it was discovered that decades ago, a murder had taken place in that very room. A woman was brutally killed, her body never recovered. Many believe her restless spirit still haunts the room, screaming in eternal torment. To this day, room 213 remains permanently closed to guests. Story 2. It was the summer of 2008 when James Miller, a seasoned hiker, ventured into one of the most remote stretches of the Appalachian Trail. The forest here was ancient, dense, and eerily silent, the kind of silence that makes your skin crawl. For 2 days, James sent regular updates to his friends, breathtaking views, peaceful solitude, but on the 3rd night, the messages stopped. When search teams arrived, they found James's campsite deep in the woods. His tent stood undisturbed, backpack zipped, food untouched, campfire cold, everything perfectly in place, except for James. On a nearby rock, they found his journal. The final entry was brief, haunting. "I saw it again. Glowing eyes, not human. It's moving between the trees, it's getting closer. No way out. If anyone finds this..." The entry ended there, no footprints, no broken branches, no evidence of struggle. It was as if James had been erased from existence. Locals refused to search further after dark. For generations they've whispered of something unnatural that roams these woods, an ancient evil known as the Wendigo, a creature born of endless hunger, forever hunting lost souls who wander too deep into its domain. Some say if you listen carefully at night, you can still hear faint whispers calling your name. And if you ever see glowing eyes in the forest, run, because not everyone is allowed to leave these woods. Story 3. In 2015, Emma and Daniel had just moved into a beautiful old Victorian house on the outskirts of London. A quiet neighborhood, perfect for raising their newborn daughter. During their first few weeks, everything seemed normal, until one night. At 2:17 a.m., Emma was suddenly awakened by strange static noises coming from the baby monitor on the nightstand. She reached over, groggy, assuming it was interference, but as she stared at the screen, she froze. In the dim glow of the monitor's night vision, a faint shadow stood over the crib. Then, through the static, came a chilling whisper, whispering, "Shh, don't wake the baby." Her blood turned cold. She shook Daniel awake. Together they rushed into the nursery. The room was empty. The crib stood perfectly still. Their daughter slept peacefully, undisturbed. Yet when they glanced back at the monitor, the shadow remained, swaying slowly, as if watching. The police arrived within minutes. The doors were locked, the windows secured, no sign of a break-in. The next day, while researching the house's history, Emma discovered a terrifying truth. Decades ago, a woman named Margaret had lived there. After losing her child in a tragic accident, she refused to leave, even in death. Neighbors whispered that Margaret still roamed the house, searching endlessly for her lost baby. That night was the last straw. Emma and Daniel packed their things and left the house for good. To this day, the house stands empty. But sometimes late at night, locals claim you can still hear the faint sound of a lullaby echoing from the 2nd floor, whispering, "Shh, don't wake the baby." The young family escaped into the night, leaving the whispers and shadows behind. But what was that entity in the nursery? Was it a spirit tied to the house? Or something that latched onto the baby monitor? A digital ghost on the radio waves? They would never know for sure. All they knew was that they had a very close call with something that wanted to be near their child. Sometimes the technology we trust to keep us safe can open doors to things we can't comprehend. The stories tonight are inspired by true events, things that happen to real people, in places like your own neighborhood. When the house grows quiet, these stories tend to linger in the dark corners of your mind. So tonight, before you turn out the light, maybe check your surroundings one last time. If you enjoyed these stories, please like and subscribe for more tales of the unexplained. Good night.